a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
This is a thing that exists. I need to collect my thoughts here. I had no idea this 1997 movie existed until last week, and I don't even know where to start. With Aerosmith leaving the Rock and Roller Coaster, that officially makes Hollywood Studios a one-ride park to me. I don't care about Star Wars. I don't care about Toy Story. I would go to Hollywood Studios and I would ride Rock and Roller Coaster and this over and over. Tower of Terror, right? It's not only Disney's scariest ride, I think it's the most underrated ride in any parks. It makes me irate that one day that raccoon in the Marvel is gonna like wash it over, give it a complete makeover. It makes me sick to think about this not being here one day. But as we get ready for Halloween, let's celebrate Disney's Tower of Terror, the ride. Mind-blowing. Rod Sterling, who isn't Rod Sterling, is such a victory of technology, so ahead of its time. Sure, AI could do it in 3 seconds today, but this was 1994, 30 years ago, and they nailed it. The ride itself, scariest ride at Disney, like I said, not just for the Twilight Zone theming, but at one point the cart detaches and glides forward, like it's no longer attached to anything and moves forward, then it reattaches to the part that shoots you up and down. I don't know, that seems so unsafe to me. Then the ride finishes, and if you're on the one side, you see the possessed dummy on your way out. Just all of it, it's a perfect ride. And as someone who has watched one Disney movie every week for the last 6 years, it's wild that I heard about this movie for the first time a week ago. Plus, it was written by DJ McHale, who wrote the Are You Afraid of the Dark series. Now, if you're a Canadian kid, you remember Are You Afraid of the Dark being on heavy rotation on YTV. Was it a great show? No. Probably one of the funnest shows ever made. Oh my god, and I've been marathoning it all October, long before I knew this was a thing. The amount of future Hollywood, Canadian movie stars that came through Are You Afraid of the Dark is insane. Shout out Dr. Dreadful on YouTube, his channel. He uploaded this 1997 made-for-TV Disney Channel original. Oh my god, let's press play on YouTube. We start at the Hollywood Tower Hotel. It's Halloween 1939. There's an invitation. You're invited to the Tip Top Club. And like all good invites, it lights on fire as soon as you read it. Like it's from Chief Quimbley or something. Credits, Tower of Terror, Nina Peoples, Steve Guttenberg, Kirsten Dunst as Anna. There's a big party on the top floor of the hotel, and they keep cutting to the exterior as there's a storm. Some famous family makes their entrance, and they go into the elevator. And I think this is like part of the footage of the opening mini movie you watch in the queue for the ride. The lightning hits the tower, the people inside the elevator disappear, and then we jump to Steve Guttenberg, who's a photographer and a writer for one of those trashy tabloid magazines you see in the supermarket aisles, or you used to see in the supermarket aisles. You know, I haven't seen them in the supermarket aisles for years, but like the National Enquirer, like the 50-foot tall kitten spotted in Scotland, those kind of papers. Okay. We're in the newspaper office and he's pitching stories to his editor. Then he kind of asks her out. This is Jill. She's his boss and also kind of his girlfriend. He heads home. There's an old lady waiting for him. We meet Abigail Gravery. Gravery, and she loves all of Steve Guttenberg's work. She has a story for him. She shows him an article about the family that went missing on Halloween night 1939 at the Tower Hotel. Sally Shine is a little kid movie star that disappeared in the elevator with everyone else. They were all there when lightning hit. Abigail was in the hotel when it happened. She lived in the hotel, and she claims this one lady was a witch, Miss Partridge. She used her black magic and made them all disappear. She saw the witch casting a spell in the basement that made Sally and everyone else disappear, like I said. No one believed her back in the day because she was a little kid, but she thinks this guy will believe her because he writes and prints stories of the unbelievable. She has proof. She has a key that unlocks the basement of the hotel where the witch cast her spell, and no one has been down there since. It's been 60 years, and this is his chance to write something that people have been waiting 60 years to hear. You know, expectations were super low, but this is a solid plot. Gutenberg heads to the Tower Hotel and we meet this caretaker character. He was related to the bellboy who disappeared in the elevator with him, and it's in his will no one touches anything until someone can find out what happened to them. And Mr. Dewey, who was also in the elevator. We learn that he's the last living relative, so if they find out what happened, he inherits the hotel, and this feels very Scooby-Doo. Steve Goots walks through the actual lobby of the hotel, and this is just like showing scenery. Like, this is the lobby of the ride, and it's amazing, and I want to be there right now so badly. He goes to the guest book, he looks at signatures, and then he moves his hand out of the way just seconds before this pen falls from the ceiling and stabs into the wood, and then a ghost sticks his head out of the mirror. This is good stuff. We come back from commercial break and an unbeliever Gutenberg is reading the book of spells and someone isn't doing yard work. There's some girl there. Is that his wife, Trish? I'm lost. Who says, oh, I think this is his sister, Trish. She says, last time Anna almost got her head cut off. See, there's a scene at the beginning where he was taking pictures of his niece Anna in a fake alien costume while someone else was pretending to be giving it an autopsy. Anyway, it was a thing. Anyway, we, cute as a button, Kirsten Dunst is back and she's like, come on, Mom, this is a real story. It could get Uncle Goots back into a real newspaper job and he won't be such a loser and then you won't have to tell everyone that your brother is a loser when people ask what your loser brother does for a living. Typical sibling stuff. So he packs up his niece and takes her to the hotel for a photo shoot. The groundskeeper guy has never actually been inside the mansion or the hotel. He's terrified. Some woman comes in. She's the model answering the ad for the photo shoot. The agency sent her. She's playing the part of the old witch for this photo shoot. And Steve says she's no good. She's too young and beautiful. Her name is Miss Poulet and she's sad. She won't get this work. So Gutenberg's like, you know what? Let's use you anyways because you're hot. And this is actually how real Hollywood works as well. Anna is dressed like the little girl Sally and she's embarrassed. I'm not sure why. It's a photo shoot. She's being someone else. I don't know. But then they hear music coming from somewhere else and they all split up to check it out. I'm reminded of the Haunted Mansion review I did during the initial COVID lockdown. It was like week 3 in my garage with my old iPhone. And it was freezing and glitching in the cold. Just miserable. Gutenberg hears a party, but he comes around the corner. It's all empty. No one's there. Anna scares him off. Anna scares him, like jump scares, his camera goes off. My daughter says, what if she's the problem? Like, what if the niece Anna is really a witch, setting Steve Gutenberg up for all this? I love how this kid's mind works. What a take. Hell yeah, I hope the niece Anna is pure evil. I hope she's behind it. That'd be an insane plot twist. They hear teapots and plates clattering in the cupboards, but when they throw open the cupboards, nothing's moving. They're all still. However, in Beauty and the Beast, dancing teacups and saucers were magical and not scary. They sang and danced, so I don't know if I should be happy about this or sad for the characters. They finally see real ghosts. A headless ghost with a knife comes after them, and they go running outside, and they run into the gardener and the actress, and that was quite the workout. We should call him Steve Glutenberg. You know how hard it was to shove a Steve Glutenberg joke into this review? It was the first thing I thought of before I even sat down. And it was great. I could see the Are You Afraid of the Dark writing style and pacing bleeding out of every second of this movie, and I love it. The Goots is excited. He says, this is the greatest story ever, and tomorrow on Halloween he's going to bring people to the hotel and prove that ghosts are real. He corners Jill at work, like his girlfriend Boston is like, I have a real story today. Halloween 1939, Hollywood Tower Hotel. He knows why the biggest child star in history went missing. He tells her all about Abigail and how she saw what happened and where they went. And they didn't actually go anywhere. They're still there. They're just ghosts. Is she excited? Is his boss excited? No. Instead of being excited, she says he sucks at his job and fires him. Like his girlfriend boss fires him. But after he leaves, she calls for like a background check on Abigail. She's going to take the story out from under him. Abigail is still in their house though, which is really funny. Like Steve's house. Like Steve goes home and the strange old lady is still just sitting around the kitchen table. She found out that the witch used black magic to send Sally to the underworld for a lifetime of suffering, but the spell didn't quite work because they didn't have a personal item of hers, and that's why it trapped everyone in the elevator, not just Sally. Abigail says she can reverse the spell, but she will need an item from all of the victims. I was just about to say, uh-oh, is Abigail actually the bad guy? But then they kind of planted that seed themselves, and Steve is like, wow, Abigail, you sure know a lot about this black magic stuff. Hey, the grandson groundskeeper gives Abigail a bellhop hat as that one guy's personal item. So they start a scavenger hunt for personal items for the rest of the people that went missing. And Abigail refuses to go inside of the hotel. She's making excuses. They need to find items or identifiers for all the missing people. Poulet, the actress, shows up again, and Gutenberg is all about this lady. They put Dunst in the baggiest, most unflattering clothes ever for this movie. Just kind of funny. The actress is now being all sketchy like Poulet. She says this is only her second acting job ever. We learned that Gutenberg used to write for the LA Banner, a reputable paper, do like important front page stuff, but then he got a hot tip about the mayor taking a bribe from the mob, and they ran the story, and it turned out to be fake, and he lost his job and lost all credibility, and now he can't get a job for any newspaper other than trash tabloids. They cross-check the guest book with room numbers to look for personal items. Now Gutenberg is like, yeah, I don't really care about any of this. I just really want a big breaking story and be famous again. Wow. Yeah. The ghosts dump ink blotter on the guest book, and now all the ghosts appear to Anna, like all at once inside the hotel. They corner her and they tell her, go away, girl, leave us alone. But then Sally appears and goes, do you really want to help us fix the elevator? We need to finally get to the top floor and go to the party. The paper lady goes to the mental institution where Abigail has been living since like 1940, or I don't know, maybe it's just a home. Now all the ghosts appear to Gutenberg and everybody's bickering. Claire Poulet isn't her real name. She's Claire. She's actually a ghost. She's not a bad actress at all. Back at the institution living quarters, they knock on Abigail's door and she doesn't answer because she's still in the kitchen. Anyway, we learn that Abigail actually is Sally Shine's sister. The plot thickens and unravels all at once. So Claire was a ghost this whole time and is actually Michael Scott's girlfriend. This is Jan from The Office, which is amazing. Everyone in the elevator were excited to make it to the party on the top floor, but they didn't make it. They don't know why. And Anna says, we know why. Miss Partridge. She's a witch, but then Miss Partridge comes around the corner. She's a ghost also, and Anna accuses her of the black magic, and she's like, no, lady, you've been lied to. I loved Sally. And they're like, well, if it wasn't you, then who? And then just then Boss Girl finds Abigail's stash of anti-Sally stuff hidden in the room in the asylum or wherever. And then we cut to Abigail laughing outside the entrance of the tower. Okay, they need to fix the elevator. And they think Q, the custodian, Q, is that his name, Q? They think he can do it, but he's afraid to come inside. Gutenberg wants to help the ghosts. He tells Q, Ghost Grandpa Dewey thinks he could do it, and that fires him up. He's ready to go inside the hotel and fix that elevator. Boss Girl comes back and says that Abigail is Sally's sister and she wants to run the story in the Banner, and Gutenberg is excited and forgets about the plan to help the ghosts once again, and Anna's like, aren't we fixing the elevator? What's up, dude? And Boss Jill is like, do you want this story or not? Come with me. And Anna says, you lie, Uncle. You said you wanted to help them, but you lie, and storms off. Abigail comes in and finds a strand of Sally's hair. The power company turns the power back on to the hotel, and we get shots of the Tower of Terror lighting up like the exterior at night. Oh, awesome. They're trying to fix the elevator, and Abigail is the bad witch, and she's casting spells. The ghosts are partying upstairs. Anna sees Abigail doing her voodoo and chanting, it's the midnight hour in the Tower of Power. And that sounds like something Macho Man Randy Savage would say. It's the midnight hour in the Tower of Power. My Macho Man. Wait for it. Abigail is going to make the elevator crash again just as Q gets it running, and they load the ghosts inside. Steve shows up with the boss just as the doors close with Anna inside instead of Sally, and he's like, history's going to repeat itself. Anna's stuck inside with the ghosts. Also, he had a change of heart. He ran back to help the ghosts after all. But yeah, Anna took Ghost Sally's place in the elevator. That's not good. Inside, Anna's like, we got to stop it. It's going to crash. Abigail reveals her insane backstory. She was jealous of her sister's fame. The day of the party, Halloween 39, it was her birthday, and no one even knew they were having a party upstairs for Sally, but it backfired because killing Sally made her a legend, but not anymore, not after tonight. People will forget about her. The ghosts and Anna think they're going to make it to floor 12, but it stalls on floor 11 like it did back in 1939, and Ghost Sally steps to old lady Abigail and says she's sorry for not making it to her birthday party that night. What? Yeah, the upstairs party on Halloween 1939 was actually a surprise birthday party for Abigail. All of it was for Abigail. God, this movie has moments. This is good stuff, people. Steve is like, Abigail, the one you hurt was the one that cared about you the most, and the old lady Abigail and Ghost Sally have a moment face to face, and then they want to stop the elevator because everyone's friends. They want to stop everyone from falling and killing Anna and re-killing the ghost, but the black magic spell is already in motion, though, and the book says the only way to counter the spell, the only way to stop it is with the opposite, whatever that means. So Q, Boss Girl, Ghost Sally, and Abigail and Gutenberg take the service elevator up to the 11th floor with the other elevator. So they're side by side in the same shaft. There's escape hatches on both sides, and this scene gives me anxiety as he's trying to save Anna. They're like reaching out across the empty, oh my god, she jumps and makes it just as both elevators drop. Ghost Sally forgives old lady Abigail, and just like that, the spell is broken and everyone is saved. All the ghosts end up end up making up as well. I will never see the pre-video and not think that that girl, the mom, is Jan. The ghosts go back up and it finally hits the top floor, floor 12. The Tip Top Club Abigail's surprise party is in full swing. The humans show up and party with the ghost, and Miss Poulet sings. She sings, "There's someone that I want to find," and my heart stopped for a second there. All the ghosts move on. Someone in the party disappeared, and everyone in the party disappeared, and the room is empty suddenly. He missed the deadline, and his boss goes, "No, you didn't miss the deadline for the story," and sticks her tongue down his throat. And now both Abigail and Sally appear as little girl ghosts, and they disappear again. Everyone's happy. They throw a real party in the Tower Hotel top floor, and everyone is swank. Gutenberg is banging his boss, and the newspaper says Hollywood Tower Hotel is now open. Loved this movie.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed